I can't stand Arsenal, as you know already. But you have to give them credit to go the whole season unbeaten.
I do.
That's such a rare thing.
Young black players right now, or young black people right now, the way they're thinking is different.
He was clutch. There is a difference between scoring free kicks for fun in games that don't mean nothing and being at Man United and winning game after game after game.
Hi, hello and welcome to Hope Meets Banter. We have a different location, but the same brilliant minds are here with me. It's Matt, Drifty and Double H.
Yo.
What's going on, people?
Welcome. Loads has happened, so let's jump right in. Manchester City have finally lost in the league against Chelsea, a 1-0 loss.
Thank goodness.
So the question is, have Chelsea found the blueprint for other teams? Just a very quick recap what happened. We've got Kante. It was like the first shot on target in the game, first goal straight in. We had 8 attempts by Chelsea compared to 14 attempts from Manchester City, but hey, they made those 8 attempts count. We had a turnaround performance from Luiz. Amazing. Guys, your thoughts?
Basically, I think sort of like yes and no. I mean, there is a blueprint to beating Pep's teams, and it's been the same ever since he's coached Barcelona. But I'm going to say to myself that if Aguero and De Bruyne was playing, I don't think City would have lost that game. So they're definitely missing Aguero and De Bruyne. But still, look at how many players you have. So you can't have everyone in your flipping team, man. So relax. But I do think that there is a blueprint. Whereas if you sit deep, you defend them, you force them to pass the ball in front of you, and you hit them direct with long direct balls when you counter them, that's how you can get them. Which is why Pep teams do not like to defend. Because when Liverpool were attacking them last season, they just felt really uncomfortable. And when you really go after City and you force their defenders to defend, they don't like it. They don't like it when they don't have the ball. They don't like it when they have to be defensive. If they're not controlling the game, then they lose. If you control the game and you really attack them, they don't like it.
Silva was out as well for Manchester City.
That was good. That is a big if.
Yeah.
You know, you say if you control. That is a massive if, because Man City do not let you control it. And yeah, they lost Silva through the game, like around the hour mark. Any team who loses Silva, Aguero and De Bruyne, you can't even be like, nah, you've got the money, deal with it. You can't say that.
Yeah.
Those 3 players walk into every team in Europe.
Yeah.
So there are levels to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do feel like it was a load of things all coming together that allowed Chelsea. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from Chelsea. Chelsea really deserved the victory in the end. But at half time, I've never known a game to be the result it shouldn't have been. Like 1-0 to Chelsea at half time was the most. How has that happened?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Man City should have been about 3 or 4-0 at half time. The dominance and everything.
Pep also said the corner call wasn't right.
It wasn't. He's actually right.
He is quite right. What do you think, Matt?
He's actually right.
Personally, I don't think there's even a blueprint, you know.
I really don't. Because we beat them and then everyone else lost to them. So I don't think there is actually a blueprint.
Do you know what it is? I think, 2 things happened. Obviously, Chelsea played at their best. And I think Man City kind of still had an off day. Because as you said, they created so many chances. What are the odds of that happening again? They were missing key players. I just think Man City were caught a bit cold in this game. And I think Chelsea just caught them lapsing a little bit. Because as you said, at half time, Man City should have been winning the game. They should have been winning, clearly. They had the chances. Like, Jesus didn't do what Aguero would normally do, and that's actually score. As you said, they were controlling the game. But again, when you're missing Silva and De Bruyne, man, they're massive players, as you said. So I think personally, there's no blueprint. I just think it was a one-off, personally, for me.
I mean, sorry, it was a 0-2 win, by the way.
Sorry, 0-2,
in the beginning. So, and do we really want to talk about Luiz? Because I'm sorry to say, but I remember us giving him shit.
The narrative hasn't changed.
I still think I still don't rate him. You know,
he's a bad defender.
This is David Luiz in a nutshell. Yeah. He'll have a game that confuses you about whether he's good or not. Where he's as good as he was against Man City.
Yeah.
But then he'll go and have that Tottenham performance like in a couple of weeks' time, and you'll be like, no, he is shit. He's a really weird defender. He's really weird defender.
For me, no. I think he's not a great defender. He's a very talented football player.
Yeah,
If you could find a way to put David Luiz in defensive midfield, he would be so good. I just think the responsibility of being in central defense. Okay, fair enough. He plays better in a 3, which
Oh,
he has
100%.
more effect.
Yeah.
And I think if you're playing in a 4 where it's really you and the other guy, that's a lot more of a responsibility. But I just think that it was an amazing. That header was amazing.
It was.
Yeah,
But
one
it's
of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It
but
really
like
was.
Luiz is not gonna give you that game every single game.
The thing is,
Consistency.
I will say this: David Luiz. I think on current form right now, you can't win a Premier League with David Luiz as your centre back.
No.
I think when Chelsea won the league, it was in a free man defence. Sorry, they even had Cahill, and I've always thought Cahill is dead.
He's a brick.
He's a brick. But again, what happened? They played in a free. The cracks were kind of papered over a bit. You know what I'm saying? So I think David Luiz, personally for me, I think Chelsea need an upgrade. But he will have that game every now and again where he'll show you he's got quality. But as again, you ain't winning the league with David Luiz. Not right now,
just
anyway.
quickly on the Man City thing as well. Because I was thinking about this today when I was with Robbie on the podcast. There's a part of me that feels like not that Man City buckled under the pressure, but I feel like it was a bit weird for them to look at us top of the table and it kind of knocked them off guard a bit as well. I don't know what you lot think, but I feel like us getting that emphatic 4-0 win only an hour before their game.
Yeah.
Like kind of threw them off a little bit.
I don't think
I disagree.
Yeah, and just like not that they will ever buckle under the pressure, but I feel like it's
disagree.
pressure they haven't had all year.
I disagree.
And it was just a little bit of like.
This is Pep Guardiola's team. They've dealt with pressure.
Yeah,
all the
I'm not
time.
saying they're bottlers. I'm just saying they haven't had any pressure this season. I think that was the first time when it was like, oh right, shit, we don't get a result. Liverpool stayed top. Like I don't know. Like I feel like it.
I don't think.
Listen, even the best teams in the world have an off day. I just generally think they had an off day because
they're still winning the league.
Yeah, I don't want to say that just yet. I ain't saying it just yet. I ain't saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for me they're still the favourites, even though they're in second place, only 1 point behind.
Yeah, they're still the
favourites.
favourites.
We can easily drop 2 points.
Yeah.
We can easily lose again.
If we draw with Man U on the weekend, they're top again. It's literally.
But even if we lose to Man U, I'm not saying we're going to, but it's so close. So listen, Man City, they're still a juggernaut.
They've got Sané and Sterling, and again, I mean, Sané I think was a little bit flaky and a little bit unlucky in a couple of points there, because he definitely could have changed the game. But they're a great team, right? And again, we saw it again, right? So for the future, I think the future's bright.
I just think like you have to look at the long game. Every team is going to have an off day, and this is a perfect thing. You keep insulting the Invincibles. It ain't easy to go unbeaten.
No, I'm not insulting it.
It's not easy to
Oh, no.
I'm
I'm not insulting it. I just don't know why that's all Arsenal fans talk about. That's all they're like. They don't talk about any history that they have. They just talk about that season.
Well,
and it's a
great feat.
No, but listen.
Yeah, but there comes a point where you gotta like get over it.
Yeah, I get that, but listen, I can't stand Arsenal, as you know already. But you have to give them credit to go the whole season unbeaten.
I do.
That's such a rare thing.
Listen, even Mourinho doesn't talk about the treble. Yeah.
Oh, yes, he does.
This guy does.
No, Mourinho does.
Even that is like, all right, it was 9 years ago. Shut up now. Like the Invincible season was such a long time ago. It was phenomenal, but just put it to one side and just like that's all I hear. Like if they hadn't done that, they wouldn't talk about anything. It's like. You know what I mean?
That's such a that is like such a rare thing for anyone to do.
It is, but I'm just saying, like, has
Barcelona gone the whole season without being undefeated?
They were 10 minutes away from me.
They never done it, did they? See, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, guys, I've got a question for you. I mean, when we're talking about Arsenal, let's mix up here a little bit. Emery is one of the coaches that made more subs before the first half than any other coach in the Premier League. So my question to you guys: is he a genius? Because he won against Huddersfield again, Torreira scored, right? Or just he doesn't get it right the first time? Or, what is this?
Well, no, for me, I think, like, there are managers who are really good at making substitutions and really good at making tweaks. Like, it's almost like, obviously, when you play, like, Championship Manager and anything, I love making, like, subs here and then. I just think that there are managers who, they can get it right the first time and they know the strongest team. And the other managers who know that, okay, this is how this game is going. I know the characteristics of this players on my team. I know whether I can bring it in and just change the course of the game. So I think, obviously, one of his positives is he's a guy that makes very good subs. Like, Antonio Conte was horrible at making subs. Possibly one of the worst managers. Because he'd make the sub at the 81st minute. I'll be like, that's just like for like, you moron. So then, but with the Emery, as he said, like, he just knows how to make changes. Like Mourinho is also pretty good at that, but I think Emery, he's like I don't know.
I think you're right. I think he can read a game so well and he can adapt to anything. And I think it just goes to show like he's not one of those stubborn managers. Hate to bring him up again, but obviously all the Arsenal fans talk about Arsene Wenger, very, very stubborn. Play the same way, go to every single game doing exactly the same thing. Emery will look at the game and think, okay, cool. This is how we're going to play. We might play a 4-4-2 or we might play a 3-4-3. He will always adapt. And again, his changes have been key. I think it is a sign of a manager that knows exactly what he's doing. I don't think it's luck. Because listen, Arsenal are what? I think I hate to say it, but they're 17 games unbeaten or something like that. Obviously, a lot of them been draws as well, but you got to give him credit. You got to give him credit, man.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know.
That's fine. We're done. I just threw it in the mix.
It's Emery's Arsenal. Fuck it.
Right. So let's go one step back. Right. So Met Police are investigating racial abuse against Sterling. Chelsea fans are accused, allegedly abused him on the field.
We know what we saw.
So players like Tyrone Mings now are pulling out of interviews as well, in sort of terms of reaction and protest. Do you agree with his comments regarding the English media feeding this kind of
100%
behaviour?
For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
I think you know what? As a Liverpool fan, I do have to because we was having an argument in the group, and Devo was like, Liverpool started this. Now, I don't think Liverpool is the reason this is happening, but as a Liverpool fan, I'm gonna say, all right, we got to hold our hands up to some of this. We did give Sterling a lot of abuse because he left, but we do it to everybody. There was just something about Sterling that just rubs the middle-aged white man the wrong way, and maybe it is because he's a young, successful black man, and they don't like to see that. There's this kind of feeling of like anyone who's black who's successful is supposed to be like so thankful for what he has, rather than like it's like, no, I worked bloody hard for this and I've had a hard life, but they're like, no, you should be just sit down and shut up and just be thankful. It's like, what, because I shouldn't be allowed to be like you? Do you know what I mean? It's something that just, but as a club, Liverpool maybe kind of like have something to do with this. It's weird because, like I said, we did it with Coutinho, we did it with Torres, but again, maybe because they're white players, the racism just made this. It's really weird how all of a sudden Sterling is just like the worst person in everyone's eyes, and I'm like, this guy doesn't do anything wrong, you know.
Hear this, yeah. We were obviously talking before we started filming. I'm gonna bring a few things up. Luis Suarez, the cannibal, biting people, physically biting people. Obviously, Liverpool player gets what, a 6-game ban? I think it was 10-game ban.
10,
Imagine if that was Raheem Sterling.
Oh man,
Suarez has done it 3 times, maybe even 4 now. He's probably doing it right now as we're filming. He's probably biting someone else.
He's the cannibal man.
And
He likes to eat, man.
And all I'm saying is, look at the punishment that he gets, and you look at what's happened to Sterling. Sterling will buy. What was it? I remember years ago when he bought his mum a house. It was like,
he bought her a sink, bro.
No, I think he got her a house as well. They got her a house as well.
It?
And what it is, they were showing you parts of the house where it's like, look how much he spent on the sink. Why does that matter? He's going training, he's working hard, and he's helping his mum. But then on the other hand, you got another guy who's biting people, and let's just be real, being racist. Look what happened with Evra.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And then like you look at the punishment and you think to yourself, hold on a minute, why is it these guys just like get let off the hook, and then like Sterling, who just goes about his own business, gets targeted in the media?
It's a witch hunt.
Yeah, of course it is.
No. I just think like there is just the image of someone like Sterling, because this isn't like 1980 or 1970 where like if you're black, stoop to conquer, always very appreciative and everything. It's 2018. Like Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, hip hop is the biggest thing out now. So young black players right now, or young black people right now, the way they're thinking is different. And I think that a lot of white people in England still expect young black players to kind of feel indebted to clubs and so forth. But when you look at Sterling and all of this young black, like Lingard and so forth, they are of the Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Drake generation of where, no, if you're young and black, you're supposed to be proud, you're supposed to really abrasive, show your things, and that's cool. So it's like, I think people find it's very hard to accept a young black guy who's really out there. And I think because he's good, he likes to show what he's doing. But with regards to your question, 100%, the media does feed it. Because The Sun is the most read newspaper in the whole world. I mean, the Sun is trash, but
It's straight trash.
yeah, the Sun is the most read newspaper like in the whole country. And when you look at, people are sheep, and people are pretty much at the behest of media. And I think, insult Trump all you want. I think by him getting this whole fake news thing trending, I think it's actually very helpful, because that's now forcing people to say, wait a minute, you don't have to be a slave to the media. Think for yourself. But a lot of these people, they look at the newspaper and everything that this guy writes, oh man, this is the Bible. And just a bunch of white guys who went to Oxford and Cambridge who are completely disconnected to the average man. But the average man now thinks that this upper middle class white dude from Oxford, Cambridge now understands what everything means. So I just think that
I do think we need to consider a little bit, although what's media is a very broad term, right? So we have tabloids in the UK that are very much the least trusted, publications in the world. That's not only the UK. So there's a tabloid media, and then there's journalistic media, right? So I think we have to just get.
I do
think fake news terms are very, very dangerous. That's a whole other kind of world. It's worth bringing it up.
No. But I think, but the most powerful media isn't the true journalistic media, like stuff like the Telegraph,
the Guardian.
The
You're right. Broadsheets are not.
Yeah, broadsheets are not like
tabloids. You're right.
Unfortunately, most people read Daily Mail, The Sun, Daily Mirror, which is complete trash and are all about sensationalizing. And those guys really created this kind of.
They created the narrative.
You saw Gary Neville even say so that. Neville even said that. I do feel that it isn't a racist undertone. It is flat out racist. How the media.
And I tell you the one thing that's like a little bit of a thing that people may not have noticed as well is that there are black players who don't get any stick. Like Lingard, like Rashford. Like Rashford's like the darling right now. But they were born here. I'm telling you, it's because Sterling is Jamaican born. It's like you're not one of ours. Do you know what I mean? Even though obviously he moved here young, it's still like that. Like they can kind of have an acceptance to you being born and raised here. But because I think Sterling was like maybe 7 or something before he came over, right? So like he has a bit of his childhood. He was born there. It's something about that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he'd have scored the winning goal for England in the World Cup, it would have said Jamaican-born Sterling. Which, you know what I mean? Like they would have had to have made sure everyone realised. Remember, he wasn't born here. Do you know what I mean? That's definitely something that plays a part.
One thing we can take some consolation from is that the Metropolitan Police is investigating this, is not taking it lightly, and Chelsea is supporting this investigation as well, right? So they're openly spoken out about it and against about it. So at least that gives a glimmer of hope. Let's look a little bit abroad. How did our guys do abroad? Liverpool 1-0 Napoli, right? Salah, our hero, right? And I would say hero Alisson. Okay, I did think that this save was really, really impressive. I do think Liverpool really showed a big club mentality there in this game. I was actually quite proud of them watching it. So how far do we think can Liverpool and Tottenham, who drew with Barcelona, how far do we think they can go in the Champions League?
I think Liverpool going to win it. That's why we're going to win it. No. We're winning the whole thing. Do you want to make a bet right now, live?
Yeah.
We'll make a bet right now. You think Liverpool won't win it?
Hell, Liverpool not winning it.
You think I'm not crazy? This is Champions League. Anything can happen. No, right. All jokes aside, this is what I think. I think it's going to be tough to get back to the final, I'll be honest with you. Because I think, again, teams have not necessarily figured this out. We're playing slightly different. We're not as adventurous as last season, which can be a good and a bad thing. I don't know who we're going to come up against. Let's say, for example, we come up against, I don't know, Barcelona or something, or Man City in the last 16. We could be in, serious trouble. But again, if it's
final, we can't play.
Sorry, final. If the second leg's at Anfield, anything's possible. Do I think we'll go far? I reckon we will get to at least to the semi-final.
At least?
Yeah, I think we'll get to semi-final. Because the thing is, people still don't know how to play against us. I think they probably thought, well, Liverpool, they're just going to high press us all the time and just attack. But I think Klopp's done something a bit different. He's not made us as predictable. There's times when you'll see little changes. There's times in the game we'll go 4-2-3-1, we'll go 4-3-3, we'll even go 4-4-2. Klopp does a lot of changes, and I think just the confidence as well at the back. Bro, Alisson is a massive difference. Van Dijk, again, obviously, been there a year now. We look a lot more settled. In fact, in a weird way, some people will say we look more dangerous.
No. And you know what it is? I feel that the way Liverpool are right now, they seem a lot more mature.
Yeah.
You know, I think like as good as they were last season, you could always score against them. As much as they could score against you, they left so much space in behind. But I just think that this team is like, and I think Klopp has probably been smart in how he set up because he knows that, you know what, Salah is a damn good finisher.
Yeah.
Mane can create something out of nothing. Okay, we've not yet figured out Firmino. He's off the ball now, but we have a very strong defense, and we're defensively very good. If we don't concede, I believe we can score. So I do feel like if he can sort out the away form of really going, because again, like they lost all three of their away games.
The away form is really
if they can
cool,
just sort out the away form, I just think that the way that they're built, even if it's not, I mean, it's weird. Basically, the way Liverpool are operating is similar to like a Juventus. Very pragmatic, 1-0, 2-1, boom. We get a goal, we'll sit back, we'll defend you.
Yeah.
Because they're not really used to that, I don't know how far they can go with that. Because again, if it's this tactic against Juventus, you even know how to play this tactic better than Liverpool. 100%. But I just feel that it is interesting that this approach is much more responsible. Because it's like, no, we have guys that can score. Let's just focus on not conceding. We have guys that we can just produce something, get the goal we need, and we can hold these guys.
It's kind of like that little bit of saying it was like, you know, like obviously like scoring goals will win you games, but shut up clean sheets will win you championships.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of feel like you're right. I think there's just something a bit different about us this season. Like defensively, we're just so much sound. Like we've only in the Premier League, I think we've only conceded 6 goals, I think, or 5, 5 or 6. That's ridiculous in what 16 games. One of the best defensive records.
Alisson's got the most clean sheets in the league.
Yeah. So again,
I wouldn't say we're pragmatic though. You know, like I wouldn't use that word because I don't think we go into the game thinking defensively.
No,
I just think we're just so organised and Klopp has everything ticking
this is very compact.
Yeah, and there's a lot more cohesion now between the defence and midfield and the attack, whereas we were a bit disconnected before. I feel like the midfield and the attack were connected and the defence was a bit disconnected, and that was what always left us a bit vulnerable. Now I feel like the whole team just feels connected. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody, like I don't know, we flow all together, all three. Do you know what I mean? You don't really get like Lovren with one-on-ones panicking, and do you remember how it used to be? Like the midfield and the defence were quite detached.
The isolation.
That doesn't happen as much now. So we've got better at everything. So I wouldn't call us pragmatic. We don't go into the game and Klopp's like, right, the aim of the game is to not concede and not lose, and we just defend. Like that isn't the aim.
No, I agree. I think,
but I think the only issue is Firmino is the only issue there. I think that is just everything else, like the keeper, the defense, the midfield. I just think that the Firmino issue is,
and that is why we need to go and get Fekir in January. Because if we get him,
do you know what it is?
Everything comes together.
Firmino, I think for me, suffering from a little bit of burnout, and I also feel like Klopp. I don't want to blame Klopp for it, but I think he's messed Firmino about a little bit. Because when he first came to the club, he was like, you're number 10. Then he turned him into a striker. He got very good at being a striker, false nine, however you want to call it. He changed him again. Because when we're playing the 4-2-3-1, he goes back to the attacking midfielder and Salah goes up front. It's like, dude, Firmino...
He's a victim of his own ability because he's the one that keeps being told to change.
He's like the engine of the midfield. He tries to get the attack flowing, but then Firmino is best furthest forward in a sense of like, even though he drops back, he's the most dangerous player when it comes to creating chances. This guy can create chances for fun for Firmino because he's got an eye for a pass. He's probably the least selfish out of all the 3 up front. I'd arguably say he's the least selfish. So
but I think because the issue is like Firmino's role was so key because he was the connective tissue that allowed Mane and Salah to really create things. But what is happening now is that the touches are really coming off. His passes are now really coming off. So it's like it's a thing of where again this is where Klopp has to sort of be a bit more expansive. Like what does Sturridge bring if he plays there? What does Origi bring if he plays there? Does that affect Mane thinking? But just think like when you're going in, you have to try and look at other alternatives. As in like because I think Sturridge, like I'm sorry, that guy he is too good to not be used enough. There is so much quality in that guy's left foot.
I agree.
Well. So I think that Klopp just really needs to really think about the alternatives to Firmino in that role.
And looking at Tottenham, man, I feared for them though. Jesus, I mean, they Barcelona
miracle,
was close. Hit the poles twice. In the 84th minute, they pulled. Absolutely,
You're proud
because
of
they
it.
did
As
not give up.
much as
You're
I,
proud of Spurs.
as much as I hate
You
them,
are proud of Spurs.
as much as I
People
hate
hearing
them,
this. Blasphemy. Absolute blasphemy.
No, but
He's
you
saying
know
you're
what?
proud of Spurs.
No. Real recognizes real, and to have 1 point after 3 games and come out that group, nah, bro, you
Hold
gotta
on.
respect that.
Hold on.
You have to
Hold
respect
on.
that. I don't care
Hold
if they're the
on.
enemy.
Put the
you have
brakes
to
on.
respect that.
Hold on 1 second.
In the
Who
hardest
was-
group in the tournament.
Who was playing him? You see that game that they played last night?
Hmm.
Who was playing in their first 11 other than Coutinho and Rakitic? Come on, wait and give me some names.
Dembele. Did you see Dembele's goal?
Sorry.
But you
As well as
can't.
Dembele.
No, but you
give me some more
can't-
names.
No, but you can't.
Give me some names.
You can't
Names.
use that to take away the fact that Tottenham had 1 point after 3 games and qualified
No.
out of the hardest group in the whole
Listen,
thing.
hey, listen.
You have to respect
No.
Listen.
So you're missing one key thing. Inter Milan are an absolute flipping disgrace.
That's it.
That's also
But Barcelona, let's be real, they kind of put out their beating with a few A players in there.
Messi
Messi came on in the 70th minute.
No, you guys.
They played Munir.
You
They
call-
played for Malin, who died about 2 years ago.
You call Messi the GOAT. 20 minutes is enough to get a hat trick. if you're the GOAT and the Lord Jesus Christ, 20 minutes is enough for you to get a hat trick against Tottenham.
bro. But listen, I'm not trying to say Spurs didn't deserve to go for
I
what they did.
respect. I
What I'm
respect
trying
their
to say
gangster,
is
man.
they got
are in the last 16, bro.
Okay, let's
Yeah, but don't
give
give them
it
too
to them. At least they held their peace, right? They didn't give up and scored in the
I'm going to keep
84th
hugging
minute.
this cushion. This cushion understands me better than you.
You hug the cushion. I just want to say, in some points I agree with you, because I think it could have been really different, and Barcelona had a really early lead and a good start.
Great score
It
from
looked
Dembele.
different,
And
so-
Coutinho as well hit the post twice, as you said. So it could have been a great.
It could have been very
But
different.
they're through, though.
Okay, man.
They are.
Because
Yeah.
Inter Milan are.
I can't stand Spurs. I didn't want. I want them to get knocked out. Let's just get it
But
straight.
just like what Chelsea did with City, you have to respect the gangster.
No. Inter Milan
I
are a
was saying
bunch of
they were
losers.
gangster.
Inter Milan are a bunch
If
of
they
losers.
beat
That's what I'm
Barcelona's
saying.
A team, I'd be like,
They
you know
beat
what?
PSV, they beat Inter Milan, they got a draw in the new camp. That's gangster. When you had 1 point after 3 games, that's
Bro,
gangster.
I'm not
No,
it's-
you can't say
All
that.
right.
Inter Milan drew
Inter
at
Milan-
home to PSV.
Thank you. Inter Milan
PSV
are
aren't
trash.
a bad team.
PSV,
They're not a bad team.
bro, come on.
We lost to Red Star, bro.
Bro, if I-
PSV are not a bad team.
But if I said to you, pick your top 20 clubs, are you going to put PSV in?
PSV are not sniffing.
They're not even top 20, bro.
20.
PSV
Be
was
real,
the
bro.
hardest 4th
Okay.
place team in the Champions
Let's
League.
agree that we're all happy that Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Spurs, they're all UK clubs, and they're all through the next round.
Premier
so
League,
I'd say
baby,
that
yeah,
this
man.
is going to be very
I
exciting.
mean, I wouldn't say I'm
At
happy.
least. Maybe not ecstatic, but okay. But you mentioned a very interesting name there, Matt, which is Lionel Messi. And
Lord.
apparently he has become the master of free kicks for Barcelona. So maybe they should have just had given him a free kick, basically, because he actually scored 19 in the last 4 years. So where do you think he ranks amongst the best ever free kick takers?
For me, I would say Juninho, I think, is still statistically the best
I
free
was
kick
gonna
taker
say
of all
that.
time. And I would
sorry,
say, for me, I'd say Juninho. Once, and the thing with, remember, Pirlo actually said he got his technique from Juninho.
Yes, he
So once
did.
Pirlo got his technique, I would say Juninho, I would say Pirlo, then I would say Messi, then perhaps Beckham. And yeah.
Okay.
I would say Messi is third.
Dino was pretty good at them as well, you know. Ronaldinho.
Not as good
Maybe
as
not as
Messi.
not as good as Messi. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
maybe like lower down the list. I agree with that. Juninho used to play for Leon. Best free kick taker in
Yeah.
my opinion. It was
Madness.
literally like a penalty.
It was a penalty.
His technique was just
He
ridiculous.
just shot the ball.
It was
straight
like,
that.
you know when everyone talks about his knuckle but with Cristiano Ronaldo, when he was doing that from ages
no.
ago.
From ridiculous
Yeah, so
angles.
I agree with that. I think Juninho's first. Who did you say you thought
Pirlo.
second? No, Pirlo could take some free kicks.
Nah, man, what's
you
the
know.
thing on
He
beating
could.
him?
You know what? I'm going to say
But
joint
Messi is getting there, man. Messi, like,
I'm going to
he's
say
getting there.
joint second, Pirlo and Messi. I think Messi...
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Messi joint second with Pirlo.
I'm a little bit ashamed of these, look, man. As an Englishman, how dare you put Beckham right way down on that?
Oh,
list?
Okay,
my
yeah, man.
God.
How dare... Listen, Juninho had the most insane technique.
No.
get me wrong.
Don't,
Richard,
if you're
don't-
going to say what I
don't-
think you're going to say,
and his
we're going
free
to stop the
kicks
show.
look-
I was so happy I got them to
amazing.
agree.
Are you gonna say-
And now
But
this-
for me,
Don't say don't.
for me,
don't,
being a
come
good
on,
free
man.
kick taker is
Don't do
also
that.
about being clutch. How many of those Janino free kicks were under any pressure? Really? No, be honest. How many? You can't say we don't watch the French league. You're just watching reels on YouTube.
Okay,
of phenomenal free kicks.
From the Greece
David
game,
Beckham
apart from
was
the Greece game,
clutch.
Apart
if
from the Greece
game
game,
needed a goal and David Beckham was taking that free kick 88th minute, 85th minute, whatever, he was clutch. There is a difference between scoring free kicks for fun in games that don't mean nothing and being at Man United and winning game after game after game with clutch free kicks. I'm sorry. The clutch alone makes David Beckham the best free kick taker.
Nope.
Nah.
It does. It does.
How are you going to put
You
Beckham
can't tell
ahead
me
of
how many
Janino?
of those Janino free kicks were of importance. Pressure counts, you know.
He's scored them in Champions
League, bro. Nearly bro,
in important games, if he doesn't score it, they're out. Like, come on, man.
Yes, he has.
Alright, so to just end this before you lot get all carried away, my opinion, my rules, David Beckham is the best free kick taker of all time because he's the most clutch. Not because he's
I want to
actually...
know the clutch moments apart from the Greece game.
You just said he's the
Do you
best.
know how many Man United games Beckham won with a free kick?
Hold on, can we just take it back one step? You just said David Beckham is the best free kick taker of all time.
Because of his clutchness, because of the importance.
And Janino is where on your list?
Janino is
the best free kick taker of all time. That's where he's on the list.
I need to hear this first.
I would put him joint second with Messi, and the reason I put Messi on Janino's level is because he's clutch.
So you're telling me Janino is not clutch? That's what you're trying to tell me?
Not as clutch.
What?
I know a lot.
Blasphemy!
A lot of Janino's goals were meaningless goals.
No.
You can't say that. Until you have the stats with you, you can't say that.
That's what I'm saying. Just because I might not watch like the French league as intensely as the Premier League. I don't understand.
Okay, everybody's entitled to their own opinions
I don't
here.
understand.
This is a very subjective topic.
And listen, this is really
Right.
tough for me. Like it is for me to say David De Gea is the best goalie in the world. He is. It's very tough. For me to give a Man United player praise is very tough.
Are you forgetting how sick Janino was?
No, you're forgetting how clutch.
No,
Beckham
I'm not.
was.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You can't only use clutch. You've got to look at distance, angle,
everything.
Difficulty,
I've seen Janino take some free kicks that shouldn't even be possible.
What was the quality of goalkeeper that was in the goal?
Get out of here. Because you want to talk about quality of goalkeepers,
Janino
we're talking
took a
about the
free
Shea
kick from the
Givens
moon.
that were 5'11".
He took a free kick from the moon.
The same Shea Givens that are 5'11", yeah?
I
Can't even touch the crossbar.
I think you guys all have a really valid point, right? That all these factors are really important to consider.
Look, man,
I think
Leonie
you all-
saved this dude, man.
You're telling me, bro.
Thank you guys for watching this episode today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to connect with us over all the social media channels. Thank you so much and good night.
Peace.